Hi, Witches of the Moon. Sorry, I am hopping on here because my phone is dead and I missed my day yesterday. So, welcome back, Witches. It is Jess Spellbound here, and this week we are talking about numerology. So, numerology is can be so much fun. I am not a really proficient person when it comes to it, but there are things that I work into my witchcraft, into my tarot reading that have a lot to do with numerology. So mostly it is for an entire year that I work off of the card that I pull by using numerology. So my tarot card, I always find my year card, and that is just by adding up the days of your birthday, all of them, and bringing it down to either a single or a double digit and correlating that with the major arcana and pulling your card of the year. You can do one, you could do two if you don't want to break down your number. If you want to use the whole number, then the broke down number, you can do whatever you want and have a lot of fun with that. And then that could be the card that follows you throughout the year. And when you're looking at an overall scheme of things for the outlook of your year, things that you need to keep in mind, trials that may come across, maybe a trait that you need to work with to realize that things aren't so bad, or maybe a different perspective. And I think that that part of numerology, the part that intertwines with my tarot, is really where the most proficient and most profound moments happen, because by knowing numerology, even in a very basic sense, it does not have to be um, something that's really convoluted and confusing. It doesn't have to be that way. If you just take the numbers 0 through 9, you're going to get a lot of perspective out of that, in my opinion. And there are a ton of resources out there if you are unfamiliar with numerology and how it correlates with tarot, or how it layers into a tarot reading. It's very interesting and a lot of fun to get to know, because it does add a deeper meaning to your cards versus just the baseline of what you're looking at the picture, or what, or any type of information. I don't mean just like looking at the picture, but there's a lot of symbolism there, and the number also matters, in my opinion. um, and another thing, and now really the only way that this ties in with my magical practice, and not even on a day-to-day practice, and not even really my magical practice, it's when my magical practice is waning, when my energy level and my there's this shift that happens every so often where your spiritual practice almost becomes part of your like mundane. It no longer has a um, it no longer has the intention behind it. It no longer has the energy level behind it, and that can come from various reasons. But I've noticed in these waning moments of my spirituality that numerology has kind of been what smacks me in the face for a wake up call. So for me, it's I will see the same numbers over and over and over again. And I know when that happens, I start to get a lot of pressure in my head. And that's when my guides, my just my guides are like, hello, wake up. You need to pay attention to this now. And also often enough it will you know, spur me to do a reading. What am I missing? Okay, how do I get back on track? So numerology can come in many different forms and different um, ideas. You can 100% use numerology and wrap that into your magical practice. Um, I think that if you decided to do numerology, then you could basically get a single digit number for the entire month. And if you wanted to do that, you could then maybe correlate if you got the number 8 as the infinity, and if there is a number 8 day on a full moon, maybe you could work some magic with that. You know, there's a ton of different ways of looking at it, and a lot of different perspectives of how people ingrain that into their magic. I am not a number person. So for me, numbers are not my favorite thing to do. But I do appreciate, I can appreciate it in certain places. I really love it with my tarot. I love the added layers of it. And I do think that there's such magic in numerology. And if you're called to recognize that, to learn from that, to grow your knowledge, then do it. There's no there's no boundaries if you want to learn about numbers. I think I don't know enough, and I probably should have researched a little bit more, but I wanted to be honest and straightforward with how I use numbers and how I can incorporate numerology into my practice. It could be as simple as taking the number six, because six for creation, and using six ingredients of something and working that into your practice, working that into maybe a spell, or a um, into a cleansing bath. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't always have to be real big and grand. It can be very small steps, baby steps of learning learning something new. So keep an open mind and think about how you would use numerology into your practice. If I was going to incorporate numerology, it would be just for that, ingredients. I am you know, everything I do is in my home. So, and outside on my land or whatever, this is my spiritual space. So for me, it would be, okay, I'm going to plant. I want, I want growth. I want abundance. I want something new. And then I would correlate that with numbers, and I would probably plant, X, Y, and Z of how many plants that will, you know, help help my energies in that way. I don't know if anything of what I just said made sense. If you followed that, I admire you. But I think that I keep saying this. I think that if it's something you're interested in, go get it. And I actually might have just inspired myself a little bit to look into it, because I like the idea of planting a certain amount of plants to enrich what I do here, magically and mundane. So, a year of abundance. I'm going to look up plants for abundance, and I'm going to find the number of abundance, or one, or I could do growth and creation and plant six of carnations. I have no idea. My brain is fried. I'm over. And I hope you guys got something out of this video. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. All right, you guys. Blessed be.